This is David Russell, Global Head of Market Strategy for TradeStation. And today we'll look at key events for investors and traders. Stocks are breaking out as the Federal Reserve moves to support the economy instead of fighting inflation. The S&P 500 rose 1.4% between Friday, September 13th and Friday, September 20th. The index closed above 5,700 for the first time ever, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average set a new record above 42,000. The Nasdaq 100 also climbed but remains below its peaks in July. The Fed lowered interest rates by 50 basis points on Wednesday and projected another 50 basis points of easing this year. The cut was bigger than expected a few weeks ago, reflecting a new concern with slowing job growth. Chairman Jerome Powell emphasized supporting maximum employment more than slowing inflation. In previous meetings, he was more worried about inflation. Despite that concern, most economic numbers were strong. Retail sales beat estimates for the third straight month. Initial jobless claims fell more than expected to their lowest level in 4 months. Housing starts and building permits also surprised to the upside. Industrial production was triple the forecast amount. Wall Street grew more bullish amid the easier monetary policy and strong economic data. BMO raised its year-end target on the S&P 500 to 6,100 from 5,600. Citi reported that family offices are the most positive in years and want to move cash into risk assets. Bank of America reported global fund managers got more bullish this month for the first time since June. A separate study by S&P Global found that institutional investors were net buyers of stocks in August for the first time since December. The biggest gainers last week were risk-on sectors like energy, financials, and communications. So-called safe havens like real estate, consumer staples, and healthcare lagged. That's potentially noteworthy because safe havens have largely outperformed during the summer as mega-cap growth stocks lagged. As sentiment getting more bullish again, Meta Platforms, for instance, jumped 7% to a new all-time high. Excitement about AI and spatial computing helped fuel the move before the company's MetaConnect event on Wednesday. CrowdStrike had its biggest weekly gain in over 3 years after highlighting new cybersecurity services. Intel rebounded after announcing an AI chip contract with Amazon.com and a reorganization to its foundry business. However, Intel is still the worst performing member of the S&P 500 this year. Constellation Energy had its biggest weekly gain ever after agreeing to sell Microsoft electricity for data centers. The utility company will reopen a nuclear plant at 3 Mile Island in Pennsylvania to fulfill the order, the latest sign of how AI is driving growth in the U.S. economy. Vistra, another nuclear generator, also surged. Vistra is now the top-performing member of the S&P 500 this year, with a gain of 180%. The next two are NVIDIA, up 134%, and Constellation, up 118% respectively, according to TradeStation data. There were some other interesting movers, like Nike, which rallied 9.5% after naming Elliott Hill as CEO. Hill was a successful executive at the shoemaker who had retired in 2020. The move spurred hopes of a turnaround. PayPal had its biggest weekly gain in almost a year after striking a payment partnership with Amazon. Gold hit a new high above $2,600 per ounce as interest rates fell. Energy stocks were the top sector overall, rebounding from weeks of underperformance. Banks, airlines, and metals were also strong. And now let's chart the market. Last week established the S&P 500 above the psychologically important 5,700 level. The index also cleared its previous high from mid-July. There seemed to be few potentially negative patterns in the price action. Short-term indicators like MACD and the 9-day rate of change are climbing. Faster-moving averages are above slower-moving averages. Some technicians could also interpret this month's higher low as part of a bullish ascending triangle. Other charts could support a bullish stance. CBO's volatility index, or VIX for example, has been fading. The yield on the 10-year Treasury note, which mostly moves in the opposite direction of stocks, has also been making lower highs and lower lows. We'll now turn to the week ahead, which is the last full week of September and the third quarter. If the month closes in the green, it would be the first positive September since 2019. The calendar is relatively quiet. Fed officials Raphael Bostic and Austan Goolsbee make speeches today. Tomorrow brings consumer confidence and earnings from AutoZone. Crude oil inventories and new home sales are on Wednesday. Micron Technology announces quarterly results. Thursday features a speech by the Fed's Powell, initial jobless claims, and durable goods orders. Costco reports earnings. The personal consumption's expenditures inflation report is on Friday. It may have less impact than in previous months because the Fed has signaled its policy intentions. Personal income and spending are also due. Thanks for watching. Please visit TradeStation.com for more.